NCAA college football. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators. The dominant personality in college football in the South, this young man, sophomore Herschel Walker, number 34, University of Georgia. In just 19 games, Walker has run for 2,925 yards, a Georgia record already. Given health and 4 years, who knows what he may total. You could call him the Fernando of college football, the man, a 225-pound thunderbolt capable of running 100 yards in less than 10 seconds. And he will be the Florida Gators' target today. The Florida Gators have won the toss, and they will be receiving to start this football game. And we have had some entertainment for you already today, and we anticipate this one will be just as entertaining. Here's the series record, and though Georgia has a substantial edge in the series and have won the last 3, they have not been easy. That 26-21 win a year ago involved the great miracle play where Buck Bellew hit Lindsey Scott with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining on a 93-yard touchdown play, and that was the play that opened the door ultimately for Georgia to become the national champion for the first time. So the preamble is done. The stage is set, and we're about ready to go for this renewal of the fracas they call the biggest cocktail party in the South, the Dogs and the Gators. And the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise from Pompano Beach, Florida. The pilot is Captain Werner Hamp from Cocoa Beach, Florida. He is Goodyear's newest blimp pilot, and this is the first nationally televised event for him, and Billy Sullivan is the cameraman up there. Georgia 7-1, Florida 5-3. And the young man who does the kicking for the University of Georgia has become quite a story. He is a freshman out of Stone Mountain. His name is Kevin Butler. And in 1981, he has really been something. He's hit 15 out of 21 field goals. And his first field goal today will tie a Southeastern Conference record at 16 in a season. Lorenzo Hampton, number 7, is the deep man for the Florida Gators. He's the man in the middle. And the game is on. Hampton comes up at the 5. Got a hole in the middle, but he is tripped up as he reaches the 24. The University of Florida opens with Wayne Peace. He's a big fellow, 217 pounds. Tough. James Jones, their primary running back, 236. Steve Miller, the tailback. Little guy, but he can scoot. Spencer Jackson, a top pass receiver at the flanker position. Broughton Lang is the split end. He's also small, but he's also very, very quick. So here come the Gators up for the first offensive play of the day. They play on real grass here in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. And Peace goes straight back, sets up and goes over the middle with it. The pass is complete to the fullback. Coming out of the backfield, James Jones. He runs for a first down out to about the 37. He picked up 13 yards. Up front, Dan Plonk is 251 a tackle. Ryan Frazier, a guard at 240 pounds. The center is Phil Bromley, 228. Buddy Schulteis at 256 pounds a guard. Danny Fike a tackle at 274. And the tight end is Mike Malarkey, 242. They're big enough, but they're very young. First down from the 37. It goes outside to the tailback, Miller. And Miller can't get much around the corner. He picks up about 3. Defensively for the University of Georgia, they line up this way. Up front, it is Dale Carver, Jimmy Payne, Eddie Weaver, Tim Crow, Freddie Gilbert. Linebackers Nate Taylor, Tommy Thurston. The defensive secondary, Ron Harris, coming out of San Diego Junior College, Mesa. Very good player. Dale Williams, Steve Kelly, and Tim Bobo. Harris has been a particularly important personality in the Georgia defensive secondary. It is second down and about 6. Give him the better part of 4 yards on the carry, and Peace goes back to throw. Straight back. Gets it off over the middle. The pass caught for the fullback, close to the first down, out around the 47.
One thing we talked about was Peace's ability to scramble. He is big and strong. The coaches say, Keith, he could play linebacker, which means he is tough. on that pass. He got out of the rush, completed for a near first down, just a few inches.
For those of you who have been watching Nebraska-Oklahoma State, welcome to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Keith Jackson, Frank Broyles, and Steve Davis. We are now in the first offensive series of the ball. On 3rd down and a half a yard. Darnell Brown is in it. Full house backfield. They go to the big fullback Jones, and Jones takes it down to the Georgia 48, and it's first down Florida. No score. First quarter of play with 13:08 to go.
Florida on this first possession has been very impressive, Keith. First play of the ball game, a completed pass, a good run, another completed pass. They've got Georgia a little bit nervous.
I would imagine the Georgia folks, their team favored in this ball game, not by a lot, but favored nonetheless, are nervous to see you and I here and our ABC people here, because everywhere we've been lately, we've had upset. It goes outside to Miller. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage on a fine defensive play by Freddie Gilbert, the defensive right end.
We should mention that Georgia's defense is outstanding, ranked 2nd in the nation against the run. Their front four are probably one of the best groups in America.
The loss is back to the 49, where it is 2nd down at about 11 and a half. You see the numbers on the Georgia defensive bunch. They have indeed been tough, and they're blitzing this time. Peace gets it off, a little pop play to his tight end Malarkey, and Mike carries the ball down to the Georgia 42. He's going to need 4 yards for the first down.
Peace reacted beautifully. He saw the blitz. He very wisely adjusted his pass pattern, just as Malarkey did, to a little quick over-the-line completion.
Buck Bellew, of course, the Georgia quarterback, loosening up on the sidelines, awaiting his chance. Peace is only a sophomore, and his numbers reflected there on the season. He's outstanding, big, strong quarterback. He goes straight back. He puts it up, and the pass is incomplete. Over on the sideline, you see that the pass was intended for Spencer Jackson, but he was truly well covered by Ronnie Harris.
The break for Florida, Keith.
Joe Hicks is the referee. Butch Lambert, the umpire. Joe Stevenson, the linesman. Tommy Larino, line judge. Field judge Bill Stanton. Nick Guarney is the back judge. Watching Joe Hicks, the referee, and waiting for the call.
Sometimes when you're trying to blitz, you get over anxious and the defense can jump off sides.
Defensive team, offsides.
So, as Frank said, a break for Florida as the ball is moved down to the Georgia 37. Charlie Pell on the sidelines, came here from Clemson, was winless his first year. His second year, he went to a bowl game. First time anybody's ever done that. Chris Faulkner is now in at tight end, a very talented big fella who has been hurt much of the season for the Gators. Peace gets it off, hooking it back the other way, and the pass is incomplete. The pass intended for James Jones out of the backfield, and Will Forts, a linebacker, had dropped back to cover him and almost picked that thing off.
He certainly did. It was across the green pattern, which is very dangerous. Rolling to the right, throwing back across. The linebackers had good break on the ball. As we look at Charlie Pell, just a tremendous football coach. He's turned this Florida program all the way around.
Bit of an unusual formation there, and they're going right back now. Not quite the same this time. But you got double wide to the top. Yeah, they do. They've got one remaining back, and he, in a sense, is a slot back, which obviously reads pass all the way. Peace gets it off over the middle. The pass is complete down to the Georgia 21, and Steve Miller, who had shifted out of the tailback into a wingback position, made the catch.
Steve, it's a very interesting story on Steve Miller. He wrote the Florida coaches this summer. He wanted to walk on. He still doesn't have a scholarship, but we're in the 8th game of the season, and he's now starting and playing a key role. You can see him at the bottom of the screen. He's lined up at wingback. He's working man for man on a linebacker, and you can see he's got one step right there. Good throw. Number 60, Thurston, could not make the play.
First down at the Georgia 19, and pressure on Peace. He's shirt-tailed. He gets away. He's a big, strong kid. Georgia sacks him. Jimmy Payne was the man that grabbed him by the arm, and Freddie Gilbert is the man that put him down for the Bulldogs. It's a loss of 12 yards.
Georgia has a great defensive line that is excellent at rushing the passer. Payne and Gilbert are truly outstanding. One 6'5" and the other one 6'4", has great speed.
The ball is marked outside the Georgia 31 now as the Gators suffer a big loss. It is second down, 22. Georgia in the red, Florida in the white. Peace getting good protection. His pass is away. His pass is complete. No, it isn't. Let's see. No.
Yes, it is.
No. They waved it off. They said no. Faulkner couldn't control it as he came down with it, trying to make a acrobatic effort out of it. The ball, if it had been on target with something on it, it would have been a touchdown.
Faulkner, number 80, the tight end's going right down the middle. Remember that Georgia's in a two-deep secondary, no safety man. You can see how wide open Faulkner is. And the ball is just a little bit long. Let's see if we can tell.
Nope.
I don't know. That's just a tough call.
Well, it was a tough call. So it is third down and 22 as Peace comes back, getting pressure. He's sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Payne, a junior out of Athens, did it. The defensive right tackle, 6'4", 243, and the ball moves all the way back now outside the Georgia 40.
One thing that Georgia's going to try to do is rush Payne from one side, Gilbert from the other. Both have excellent speed, forcing Florida's defensive tackles to try to block them. I believe that Georgia will outquick Florida's offensive tackles.
Both teams have outstanding kicking games. Joe Borukevich, a senior out of Willingboro, New Jersey, back in punt formation. And Steve Kelly, the deep man for Georgia. The kick is away. A hanger. Florida's got good coverage downfield. It takes a Georgia bounce, and it'll be marked inside the 15. So the Georgia defense does its job as they turn away the Florida Gators in their first possession. Next, we'll see Georgia with the ball. Home team for this game come up with the ball just short of their own 14. Buck Bellew is your quarterback with Ronnie Stewart and Herschel Walker lined up in an eye behind him. It's Walker. He cuts it back and he goes to the 19 for 5. Herschel's longest run this year has been for 32 yards, which means they're keying on him. Buck Bellew, the senior from Valdosta, is the quarterback. Ronnie Stewart is the fullback, and he's an outstanding blocker. Herschel Walker, of course, you know all about this big sophomore from Wrightsville. Lindsey Scott, who won this game a year ago, and Lon Buckler, the split end. And it's second down and 5 for the Bulldogs. They give it to Walker again. Herschel runs it right up the pipe, and he gets it out close to a first down. The offensive front for the University of Georgia. Warren Gray, 239 tackle. Mike Radloff, Wayne Radloff, rather, is a 240-pound guard. Joe Happy, the center, at 240. James Brown, the other guard's a big guy at 245. And Jimmy Harper, the tackle, at 270, with Clarence Kay, number 84, at 225. And Georgia uses its tight ends quite a bit. It was a first down for the Bulldogs at the 24. Bellew to Walker. There's a little student body left, and Herschel cuts it back. And he breaks a tackle. And he breaks another one. And he goes to the 40. A gain of 16 yards. Walker with 3 carries, 26 yards.
Watch Walker when he sees the opening. A little bit of daylight. He's just walking outside a little bit. Now he sees the daylight, cuts right back inside, lowers his shoulder. You can notice that when a defensive back hits him high, he just doesn't go down. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the ball game.
It is a first down, obviously, as he gained the 16. This time he gets 2. Tom Wiegman, weak side linebacker, came after him. Here's your setup for the Florida defensive unit. Johnson, Galloway, Fisher, and Jones, line, and Marshall. Marshall is something special. You'll see him a lot today. Jackson and Wiegman, your linebackers. Secondary, McKeever, Curry, Gilliam, and Lilly. Just outside the 41, with Carney Norris now in at tailback. Walker out of there to get a breather. Bellew's going to throw it. Pulls it down. Nobody open. Runs it for a yard gain. Oh, hug up. Walking around the hotel lobby this morning as docile a critter as you'll ever see, but the visage is special.
That's a mean, tough look. Georgia hopes their players have that same feeling.
Walker is back. Norris out at tailback. 3rd down and 8 for the Bulldogs at the 43. No score first quarter. 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go in period number 1. Ballou will put it up. Having trouble finding anybody. Now he lifts it out to the left side, and the pass is caught. It is short, however, of a first down as the Gators read it well, and Fernando Jackson came through there to get Herschel.
Buck Ballou is a good scrambler himself, but he didn't get the pass downfield enough for the first down.
It was Lindsey Scott, I guess it was, that pulled it down. Walker was in the same neighborhood. They were looking downfield trying to find Norris Brown, the tight end, and he was well covered. So it's kicking time as Broadway comes in to punt, and Ivory Curry is the deep man for Florida. Good high hanger, and knocked out of bounds inside the 15. So Florida will get the ball back deep in their own territory, 5:35. The Cowboys had such a big win last week against Philadelphia. All right, here's Florida starting at their own 14. First possession, ran 11 plays, had the ball for 5 minutes and 50 seconds, and were turned away on the result of 21-yard losses in sacks. They give the ball to Jones, the primary runner, the big fullback. He gets it to the sidelines, and he's tumbled out around the 20. And coming out of the secondary to get him, the roverback Tim Bobo, a junior from Smyrna.
With regard to Georgia's defense, they would like to play just a 4-man line against Florida's passing attack. Georgia's secondary is very inexperienced. No starters returning from last year.
Second down at about 4.5 for the first down for the Gators. They spread him all over the field as Peace stands up and fires, and the pass is caught by Dwayne Dixon, number 83. And he's got a first down for the Gators.
One thing that Wayne Peace, Florida's quarterback, does is throw a lot of passes, keep close to the line of scrimmage, what we call a 3-step drop. He drops back and then he lets it fly very quickly. The passes must be timed perfectly.
Ball is at the 29 of Florida. First down, Gators. 3 wide men. Again, Peace stands and fires, and the ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, intended for Dixon. The University of Georgia defense Frank was talking about has been pretty much responsible for their success. And here are some of the numbers on them for 1981. You can see they're second in the nation in rushing defense. And that's pretty stingy, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Just 55 yards allowed per game. Second in scoring defense, just 7, just a little over 1 touchdown, and 10th in total defense.
Well, that's what Florida's looking at right now on second down and 10. Peace gives it off to Jones. Jones on a little draw. Breaks it up the middle, fumbles the football. Georgia recovers it at the Florida 38. Ron Harris, the cornerback, dove on it.
That's the first break of the ball game. The Florida coaches knew that they couldn't give Georgia anything. Georgia's too fine a football team. You can see 30 Jones running the draw play, and I believe Payne, 87, strips him of the ball. Harris recovers. Golden opportunity for the Bulldogs.
Jimmy Payne.
87, number Jimmy Payne, very fine defensive tackle. Watch him roll back to the inside. What a great play he makes. You can see he takes his left arm and strips him with the ball.
They go outside to Herschel Walker from the 38, and they roll him out of bounds at the 31. Picked up about 7 on the carry. And that's pretty much what he's averaging. Just a little over 6 yards per carry in 1981. However, he has not broken the long run. However, he has been very consistent. Again, go back to the big defensive play by Jimmy Payne.
That left arm reaches out. Jones, number 30, and look at the ball pops all the way out. Harris recovers it.
Goes right into his hand. Second down and 3 for the Bulldogs at the Florida 31. Ballou gives to Walker. Walker looking for some daylight. Gets down to the 30, and the Gators stop him there. They're 2 yards short of the first down. Most of the field still has sun on it, but the sun can be a problem because it's slanting in rather severely from over the end zone. Here's a comparison of what Herschel has done. Last year, you can see. This year, you can see. And he's ahead of the pace, though his average per carry is a little bit less, about a yard less per carry. Buck Bellew has the ball, getting loose, and the Florida Gators retaliate by recovering the loose football. Florida swarming all over the ball. Wilbur Marshall, number 88, the big sophomore from Titusville, Florida, was right in on it.
Watch on the right top of your screen. You're going to see the corner fire. This is something that Florida does so effectively. The corner comes in, forces Bellew to pitch. Marshall rolls right outside for the lateral and makes the recovery for Florida.
And Florida has the football. First down, just over their own 40. Fierce defensive ball game so far. 4 minutes to play in the first quarter and no score, and Peace gives the ball off to the fullback. He fumbles it again, but he gets it back. The ball is stripped away from the fullback, Jones, once again by Jimmy Payne.
I'm sure that Jones is a little bit discouraged, but when that big arm of Payne reached in there, Keith, it just pops it right out, unless you've got real good control of the football with both arms going through the middle, and that's what Jones is probably going to do in the future for a while at least.
Well, they were trying to give him a confidence builder. It didn't work, did it?
Let's watch it again. Jones carrying the ball up the middle. There goes that left hand, and it pops right out. Second time in a row that Jimmy Payne, number 87, strips the ball carrier. Jones from the ball, but Jones makes a great individual effort to recover and prevent the turnover.
So it is Florida's ball, second down. They lost about a yard on that. You can see the ball is a bit hot today. Lorenzo Hampton, number 7, is in. So is John L. Brown. A change for the Gators on second down and 11. He stands up. He whips it. It is incomplete. Oh, lucky he got away with that one because Harris was right there and could have come away with it. So was Steve Kelly.
Number 27, Harris, is an interesting story in himself. He's called Mr. Enthusiasm by the Georgia players and coaches. He's a junior college player that enrolled this fall and worked his way right up to the starting left halfback position and leads the team in interceptions.
Third down and 11 with Tyrone Young, who has just come back from injury. Very dangerous. He is at the top of the picture. He's 6'6", big target. Peace goes the other way, lofts it out to the sidelines, and the pass is incomplete. The pass intended for Lang, number 2, the split end. And so the Gators now will have to punt it away on fourth and 11.
We see Charlie Pell. He told me yesterday, Frank, we've got to establish some running against this Georgia team if we have any chance to win. You can see that Charlie still has quite a record, 64 wins and 34 losses, even though his Florida record is not so impressive.
The punt by Borukevich. Doesn't get it to spin. It's a tumbler downfield, and a fair catch is called. So the Bulldogs, Kelly makes the catch. Stingy on the ground.
They force other teams to go to the pass.
Yep. All right, here's Georgia now, working from its 27. Give the ball to Herschel Walker. No place to go. He gets a yard, maybe 2, as he punches in there. Fernando Jackson brought him down. Scores of games played today. Rutgers led for a while 3-0, but then the wall fell on them as Pitt rolled 47-3. Big ball game in the Atlantic Coast Conference with Clemson outlasting North Carolina 10-8. And Penn State by 7 over Monty Kiffin's Wolfpack. Michigan, 70 points today against Illinois. My goodness, 70. Here's Bellew on a roll to put it up, pulls it down. Nice running by Buck Bellew for a first down. He sidestepped the tackler and took it all the way to the 46-47 for 17 yards.
Buck Bellew didn't want to scramble last year because he had just come off of a broken ankle. But you can see when the receivers are covered, a great quarterback knows what to do. He's decisive. He has to have the ability to turn a bad play into a successful one, and Bellew just did this.
First down Bulldogs, the ball at the 46. Pressure from the back, but he gets his pass away, and the pass is out of bounds, complete at the Florida, just inside the 45. Lindsey Scott, the senior from Jessup, Georgia, made the catch. and he's a record setter at the university.
Scott is worked in one-on-one because Florida has the blitz, and it was a perfect call. They anticipated the blitz, and Scott makes the reception. One thing that Florida will do, Keith, once a team has made a couple of first downs on them, here comes a blitz, and they'll blitz until they can at least stop them or the other team will score.
Miami beat Florida State today 27-19, so the Hurricanes of Miami are once again the champions of the state of Florida. And remember, you have 3 outstanding universities and major schools in collegiate competition here: Miami, Florida State, and the university. So Howard Schnellenberger gets to keep that trophy. Notre Dame is rolling over Georgia Tech in the 4th quarter. And down at the end of the season, the Fighting Irish are going to be down in Miami against the Hurricane. Ohio State and Minnesota are all even in the 3rd quarter, and that's a big ball game in the Big Ten with Iowa rolling over Purdue. So Iowa-Wisconsin next weekend will be another big ball game in the Big Ten. That's really a scramble up there. But Michigan went for 70 points today. The Badgers are leading Indiana in the 3rd quarter, and Michigan State now beginning to make some noise, too, in the Big Ten. All right, 2nd down. They need about a foot. And, oh, look at this. Herschel Walker is stopped short. Tim Newton, number 51, a freshman from Orlando.
You would think that Georgia would be able to get a helmet on all of the defensive players, but they didn't. Newton was untouched, ran right into Walker and tackled him for a short loss, making it 3rd and 1.
Time remaining in the 1st quarter. 3rd and 1. He doesn't get it. He does not get it. Walker going into the stack, ran into Galloway. Galloway is 6'3", 274. He's been dinged up some this year himself, but he is a horse, a mountain of a man over there. And they're going to mark him short of the 1st down.
Well, this is a tough decision for Vince Dooley. I think he'll go for it.
Look at that.
No,
Kansas State 21-6 over Oklahoma.
He's going to punt it.
Broadway comes in for Georgia, and Curry goes deep for Florida. Auburn is the team that beat Florida last week at Auburn 14-12. Whistle stop them. They got too much time against Georgia.
That penalty will not hurt Georgia because Blackwood can probably kick the ball close to the goal line anyway.
Delay of game.
Back him up 5. Jim Broadway will drop back to his 33 or so and hit it around the 40. And Curry moves up to his 10.
Keith, I'm getting the impression that the Florida defense is picking up a little bit.
They sure did that time. Not much pressure. Spins it downfield. Curry makes the catch at the 14. Look out. Look out. He's got a convoy, but he's caught from behind. Alabama, as Paul Bryant's team is off this week. 1st down for the Gators now from their own 29. No score in the 1st quarter. And Wayne Peace gets it over the middle. The pass is intercepted. And the penalty flag goes down. You may very well get an interference call on Kelly. The pass was intended for Malarkey. He came in and spun Malarkey around. And I think you're going to get interference against Georgia. Talking there, the referee with the offensive captain for the Gators. It's going to put the ball down on the Georgia 49. That's a 22-yard penalty, and Florida keeps the ball.
Peace threw the ball up for scrambles. I thought, Keith, the receiver was not that open. It's dangerous when you throw deep down the middle, as we hear the call. Let's watch it again. We'll see the interference. Peace is going to drop back. He's looking right down the middle. Georgia's in a 2-deep secondary. But up in the left corner, you're going to see Kelly, number 23, come right in front of Malarkey and knocks him down, and it was clearly interference.
Jones has the ball for Florida from the 49. Goodsell blocking on the left side, picks up about 6 and another penalty flag. That might be holding or illegal use of the hand. The offensive lineman's arms have been freed some by the new rule, and it's made a whale of a difference in the way the game's played. That's illegal use of the hand. 5 yards.
Keith, we've talked about, and I think the fans would enjoy what coaches are saying, that the change in the rules to allow them to block has changed offensive strategy dramatically. It's a sharp change. Teams can throw the ball and have a better chance to protect the passer. Big ball games are won in the passing game.
They lose on their first penalty of about 6-yard pickup. Plus the 5. Pittsburgh, the number 1 ranked team, winning today. Clemson, number 2, winning today. USC playing later. And Georgia ranked number 4.
Holding by the offense.
He's got holding call on him. Though he had his face the other way.
He certainly did, Keith. His
At the 46.
Should be facing him if it's a 10-yard penalty for holding.
First down and 15. Peace, a little stand up. He's got a lot of room on the right side. He pulls it down. He weighs 217. He'll take a lick. And he takes one as Ron Harris makes contact with him and rides him out. So the first quarter is over here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. No score between Georgia and Florida. From their own 49, no score as we start the second quarter. And Peace drops back to put it up. Good protection. He gets his pass, nails Jones on the numbers. Jones is inside the 35, down to the Georgia 34, and a first down for the Gators. Right now, let's join Dave Dials.
All right, Keith, as you reported, the final score, Michigan 70-21 over Illinois. After the Illini had scored the first 3 times they had the ball and led 21-7, look what happened. Tony Eason completed 14 of his first 17 passes, but wound up throwing the ball up 53 times, completed 31, was intercepted 4 times. A big victory for Michigan. Now back to Keith.
Thank you, David. And we're at the 34 of Georgia right now. No score here in the Gator Bowl in Florida. Trying to get something up there as Peace turns and gives to James Jones. Jones runs off the corner and gets it inside the 30. They'll give him about the 28 on the carry.
As we look at the stats, we see Florida leads in first downs, but what is conspicuous, they still haven't established any run. They lead in passing. Georgia leads in rushing. What Georgia's got to do is get a little more passing going, and if Florida wants to win, they've got to get a little more running going.
Mark it on the 29, second down and 5 for the Gators. They give it off inside to John L. Brown, a 196-pound junior out of Gainesville, and he gets Florida first down at the Georgia 18.
Georgia traditionally goes into a blitz on this part of the field. Florida caught him just right and pried open an open hole right over the right tackle.
So the Gators now threatening. Ooh, there's the Georgia defense retaliating. Florida was down on the Georgia 19 a while ago, and we're backed up by the Georgia defense, and this time it is Eddie Meat Cleaver Weaver. I'll have you know.
Number 61, 6 feet tall, 270 pounds. He shoots the gap, which Georgia does so well. He comes clean in the secondary to throw Jones down for no gain. What a player Weaver is.
Jones is a 235-pound fullback. He's not a gimme. Peace, back to throw. Gets it off for the corner. It is incomplete. Oh, that could have drawn a flag, too, couldn't it? Dwayne Dixon was down there. Covering him was Dale Williams.
If they were just bumping and shoving each other all the way down, as we look at the Georgia defense, has allowed only 1 touchdown this season by rushing. That's quite a record.
Time called right here with 12 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the first half of the ball game, and we have no score. This is a game that most of the time no score, and it's 3rd and 10 at about the Georgia 19. Uh-oh. The Florida man turned upfield too soon. The pass thrown over the middle. It is intercepted. And the man is brought down back around the 2-yard line, Tim Bobo, but there was a penalty flag thrown against Florida as Steve Miller turned upfield too soon. Well, that's a tough decision for Vince to make now. She's got to keep the ball. He'll just take the ball.
Very definitely. He should keep the ball. That was a terrible pass by Peace. He had no reason to throw the football. When you get a big rush, you have to keep your poise. You can see that Gilbert, number 90, who's an excellent defensive end, forces him to throw the ball before he wants to. Watch Gilbert, who's a very fine football player. A trackman, has run a 4.600. Watch him coming in from the rear. I think that Peace kind of fields him, even though it's the blind side, and he throws it up for scrambles, and it's intercepted. It's much better to take the loss and kick at a field goal.
Georgia at the 2, first down. Walker out of the end zone. To about the 4 for a couple of yards.
Walker in the time.
The defensive front of Florida, Johnson, Galloway, Frazier, and Harris, and Marshall is truly outstanding. And we'll watch this develop as the game goes along and see if Georgia can run the football. I doubt if they can successfully.
Walker is now 10 carries and 40 yards. He's 35 yards shy of 3,000 in his sophomore season. He's got it again. Oh, he stepped away from one white shirt back on the 5 and gets it up across the 10 to about the 11. That looks like they're about a yard short of the first down. We're in the second quarter of play.
Going back to Florida's defense, they don't feel that Georgia can run on them unless they can mix up the passing to keep them off balance.
3rd and 1.
Blitz coming.
Ballew's going to put it up. He goes short. Pass intended for Lindsey Scott. Scott had no chance. Penalty flag. And Scott retaliating apparently to something one of the Florida players said. Bounces the ball off the Florida man's head and gets 2 flags on him like that. Bang. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Tony Lilly was over there.
Keith, going back to the call, 3rd and 1 with Herschel Walker and Georgia's offensive line as we listen.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Always the man who retaliates it gets it too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But the call was really surprising, even though Florida was in the, as we look and see what happened.
Now watch, Scott's going to hit you on the side of the head there, and Scott turns around now and bounces the ball off his head.
Half a dust to the goal.
See? Well, that's automatic.
Yes,
I saw him do it, and it's just automatic. There's no question about it. Broadway standing back at the end of the end zone. Poise, big part of this game. You may be hurting, but you better keep your poise. The kick is out of there, and it's a good one. Oh, it's a dandy. Hurry all the way back to his 45. Down he goes. At the 44. Good kick coverage, a 49-yard punt. Florida comes to the attack now. First down at their own 44. No score. Fumble. Florida keeps it. Peace never got away with a snap.
Georgia was going to blitz on first down, and you could see Peace was trying to get the ball and get set up and release the pass to the split end that was open for a short gain. Just too anxious.
Lost 2. Second down 12 at the 42. Going to put it up. Going to get sacked. 3rd time the Bulldogs have sacked him. Freddie Gilbert, number 90, the first man to get there, the sophomore out of Griffin.
Gilbert, number 90, swaps. He flips over from left to right, and you notice that he's the wide end, and he comes inside of the defensive end who's rushing from the outside. They had 2 ends on the same side, Carver and Gilbert, and Gilbert tackles him before he can release the pass.
Bill Lewis, who used to be the head coach at Wyoming, the defensive coordinator for the University of Georgia, replacing Irk Russell.
And he's doing a great job.
Third down and about 20. Give it to Jones on a draw. The fullback gets back across the 45 and out to the 47. Ohio State is now going out in front of Minnesota 28-21. The Buckeyes are yielding a lot of points. Colorado 14-13 at halftime over Missouri. Missouri having a lot of people hurt still. BYU big over Colorado State. Texas Tech leading TCU. TCU lost their fine quarterback Steve Stamp with injuries. Fourth down, Florida to the punt. Bortkiewicz got some pressure but gets it out of there. Shooting it for the corner. And it's going to roll around, and Florida's going to be able to down it deep. So Georgia gets the ball, but they get very, very poor field position all the way back on their own 8-yard line. No score. Timeout. Keep them pinned in there if they can. With 9:23 to go in the first half and no score in the ball game, and Herschel Walker has the ball. He butts heads up there with number 49, Fernando Jackson. And he gets about a yard. Looks like he's searching. He's not the abandoned type of runner I think that he might have been last year, Frank.
Well, Keith, I agree. Last year in this same ball game, we noticed that Herschel wasn't an exceptional inside runner, but the Georgia line could spring him into the secondary where he could really use his talents. He's never been a good inside runner, but I agree. He looks a little bit cautious.
Gained about 2, second down and 8. They give it off inside to Stewart, the fullback, and Ronnie breaks it out across the 20, and that will be good for a Georgia first down. So they go to the man who doesn't get to see the ball a whole lot, Stewart, and he pops it.
Well, that's what happens. You're so preoccupied with Walker that when you hand off on a quick play to a young man like Stewart, Ronnie Stewart, number 33, you can see that he gets hit at right in the backfield, but he keeps going for the first down.
At the 20.
That's a big first down for Georgia. Gives them a little more running room.
Ballou to throw it. He gets it off. He's got a man wide open, and he threw it just a fraction too high. Norris Brown, the tight end, who is a flyer. If the ball is an inch shorter, or lower, I guess is the proper word, Brown might well have scored.
Brown has the speed to score. He's a 4.6 sprinter in the 40-yard dash. Norris Brown, number 88. Florida, what happened, did not have a safety man, and Brown, the tight end, went right down the middle. No one was there.
Exactly the right play.
Exactly. And the ball should have been caught.
Kay is in now at the tight end. Herschel's numbers on the day. He's got the ball again. It wants to look like he might want to put it up, but pulls it back down and gets it up to the 25. Tom Wiegman, Jr. out of Jacksonville Beach, made the stop. Barry Young goes in at the fullback spot now for Georgia. He's a sophomore from Swainsboro.
Keep looking ahead in terms of Georgia's offensive strategy. I believe they're going to have to throw more than they have in any game this year.
3rd and 5 right now from their own 25. Give it to Herschel. He's got a first down. And he runs that football. Might get a late hit here. Somebody came sliding in on the stack, but no flag. I guess they thought the ball was loose.
Keith, it's a draw play. Herschel is breaking back out the back door, as we say, and Wiegman, the linebacker, misses him in the hole. You can see Walker trying to lower his shoulder and make extra yardage.
Ball did pop out of there a little bit, but he covered it. And because the ball was not in possession, they don't flag the fellow who arrived a little late. 6 more yards, and Herschel's at 3,000 for his career. Ballou on first down to put it up. He has nobody to throw it to. He does throw it. He throws it out of bounds. It's incomplete. The pass is caught by Lon Buckler. But the Florida secondary was just all over everybody.
One thing that we're talking about is Florida's defensive secondary is very improved. As you can see, Buckler's trying to curl up. He's rolling back towards Ballou as he scrambles. Now he's going to turn downfield. The defensive back kind of shoves into him a little bit. And then the ball is thrown out of bounds.
Pretty good catch, good concentration. 2nd down and 10 from the 40. Walker. Jackson again. Fernando Jackson, 49, hits him right on the numbers and rolls him down. He'll get something out of it, maybe a yard, maybe 2.
Jackson, Fernando Jackson, is a very fine linebacker. You can watch him. He's waiting to see if it's a pass or run since it's the draw play. But once he just reads the play, he attacks Walker and knocks him back along with about 5 other teammates.
3rd down and 8 from the 42 for the Bulldogs. Ballew's going to put it up. He's got Brown over here. He hits him. He's out of bounds. Didn't come down with the ball either.
Give credit to the Florida defense. Their secondary is really doing a good job of covering the receivers.
Bill Fleming will have highlights of those games for you tomorrow. That Clemson-Carolina game was a dandy. So was the Miami-Florida State. And Michigan, of course. The Ohio State-Minnesota game still in doubt. And an awfully big game out on the West Coast, Washington-UCLA. Broadway's punt. Oh, it's a beauty. And Curry calls a fair catch for Florida. The Gators have the ball 1st down at their own 23. That was a high-hanging 31-yard punt. 6:15 to play in the 1st half and no score.
I've had to write some tough things about some tough guys. But there's one guy I can't write anything bad about. His unique brand of baseball has made him a living legend. So have his commercials. They got me to try his favorite beer, light beer from Miller. Light's less filling and it really tastes great. So I bought this light for that renowned yet humble man, Art Thunder.
Cheer up, Billy. One day you'll be famous just like me.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
A new, powerful Delco Freedom 60 battery. It's not only truly maintenance-free, but even frozen in an inch of ice. Cranks up the storm.
Hot, firing, cold, cranking, dirt, fighting, road handling, money saving, hard working. AC Delco.
You can enjoy great NCAA football doubleheader action next Saturday on ABC. No matter where you are.
The Florida Gators come up on the football now. 1st down at their own 23 and no score. Wayne Peace 6 out of 13 so far in his passing. Stands up with that quick pop, goes sharply with it, and the pass works to Lang, and Lang is up around the 34 and may well have a 1st down. Broughton Lang. He's only 5'7", 166, sophomore out of Miami, but he sure is quick.
One of those walk-ons that makes good. Just walked on 2 years ago.
Gotta go, Ronnie, gotta go. Quick pass, quick pass, quick pass.
Pass is away. Pass good to Miller. Miller is on the chalk at the 39. He got 5.
What we're seeing is Georgia blitzing again. They found that they need to add the blitz to their regular 4-man rush. They had 8 people coming. No one was covering Miller, releasing out of the backfield.
Fellow who made the play in the secondary is Terry Hogue, a sophomore out of Huntsville, Texas. And Hogue made a very big play for Georgia in the Sugar Bowl game against Notre Dame last year as a freshman. 2nd down and 5. He puts it up. Lang downfield too long. Lang never had a chance.
Peace had to throw the ball before he wanted to, Keith, because the blitz once again was on, knowing that he's not going to have a great deal of time. He tried to lay it up very high and let Lang run under it, but it was a bad throw.
With a 3-step drop, though, you're not going to have a lot of time on a team like Georgia.
No, you know, he was going to fake the quick and let the receiver fake and then go deep, but it didn't work.
On 3rd and 5. Gonna run it with Jones. James Jones is across the 45 to the 46, and that's a Gator 1st down. So James Jones at 6'3", 236 from Pompano Beach keeps the Gators moving.
Jamie Jones has a 5.6-yard average per rush. He has been Florida's rushing game.
One reason that looks so bright was the orange color isn't that bright. And the sun's still shining on about half of the Gator Bowl. Whistle, stop it. Ball is at the 46 of Florida. Georgia calls the timeout. You have 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the first half. The defenses have dominated the football game so far. With 5:40 to play, no score. Today's telecast.
Yeah, if you cannot mix it up against a team like Georgia, you got very little chance because they're too effective rushing the passer with no running threat.
First down, Florida at their own 46. This time a deeper drop by Peace. Goes down the middle with it. He's got Miller out there. He's got the ball. He's gone. Touchdown, Gators. Comes out to go for the extra point for the Florida Gators as Tim Bobo got burned by Miller coming out of that wingback's position. The kick is good at 5 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the first half. The Florida Gators strike through the air for the touchdown.
Keith, isn't that a great story? With Miller being a walk-on, starting his first ball game today, getting in behind the strong safety. One thing Bill Lewis, the defensive coordinator, told me is he hopes that he can keep Bobo back deep. He knows he doesn't have the speed to cover Miller. It's a man-to-man situation, and you can see how far in behind Miller, number 20, just a walk-on. This year, playing in his first season at Florida, gets in behind Bobo, number 32. It's a blitz, man-for-man coverage, but Peace looks down the middle and finally just lays it up. Look at that power. Isn't that beautiful? Just lays it right in the breadbasket for the touchdown. That's a happy young man.
It goes 54 yards, and the Florida Gators break out in front by a score of 7-0.
There's a happy coach, Charlie Pell.
Clark to kick it off. The deep people for Georgia are Lindsey Scott and Herschel Walker. Double trouble back there to return the kick. Knuckleball. Walker lets it go right through his hands. He's got to cover it in the end zone.
No, he doesn't have to run it out.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Tim Newton was down there. He did not have to run it out.
No, the impetus to put the ball in the end zone was supplied by the kick, not by Herschel. You can see the ball is bouncing, and Herschel did not apply the impetus. The ball, the kick takes it in the end zone. He has to go back and return it. Cover it, but he doesn't have to get it out of the end zone. It would have been Georgia's ball on the 20 had he been alert.
Last three possessions for Georgia, their own 2, their own 8, and now again their own 2. And Ballou gives the ball off inside. Fumble! Ronnie Stewart fumbled it, and Florida's got it at the Georgia 5. One of the big guys in the middle came up with a football. Let's see if we can find him.
Whoever he did, Keith, he knocked that ball right out of there. That's what we call a contact fumble. I believe it was Jackson, number 49. The ball pops right out, and I mean it popped out. Just a great tackle by Jackson, number 49.
And it's first and goal to go. Florida at the Georgia 5, an 8-man front for the Georgia Bulldogs. And they go to Jones, the fullback. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. He got away from Jimmy Payne, and he goes down to the 2.
Well, you want to be careful when you go against Georgia on the goal line, and be sure you get an offensive headgear on every defensive player. That's all you need inside the 5. You have a chance to score if you just block all the people. Just get a standstill. A tie is all you need here.
Florida trying to get its second touchdown on the board in the first half. Full house backfield. Quarterback Peace surges. He gets a little bit.
Keith, one thing that's been the problem with Florida's offense, they haven't been able to stick the ball in the end zone with regularity.
They need about a foot for the touchdown.
They've been stopped many, many times short of the touchdown, having to go for the field goal. But they shouldn't here. 2 tries to get 1 yard.
Full house backfield again. Look for Jones to get it. Nope, Peace keeps it. Dive. He's not there.
Well, if you don't get a quick signal, you're not likely to get it. None of the officials have signaled a touchdown.
It is 4th and goal.
You go for it. I believe he must go for it. This close to the goal line. If he can't put it in from the 1-foot line, 2 tries to go 1 yard. As we say in coaching, we don't deserve to score.
Why don't you give it to the back to go over the top?
Jones is 235-pound fullback. They lined up and must be going to run left, Keith.
They give it to Jones, and he's got a touchdown. Try by Clark out of Jim Gainey's hole at 3:37 to go in the first half is good. So the Florida Gators have threatened a couple of times. They finally put one and go from about 6 inches away. They give the ball to James Jones, and he breaks the plane to the goal line.
But Keith,
just barely.
Only on second effort. He was stopped short of the touchdown, and he twisted, made himself narrow at the shoulders, and he penetrated.
And Scott goes toward Walker, and it's hooked out of bounds. And to recapitulate for just a moment on what happened to Georgia in that last kickoff, Walker had the ball go through his hands. The ball was in the end zone. If he had covered the ball, they would have had it at the 20. Instead, he tried to run it out. He got to the 2. And then they fumbled it, Stewart did, and that's what happened. Duke winning today over the Deacons. So they'll penalize Florida 5 yards, bring it back to the 35, and re-kick it. And while they're doing that, this game, a presentation of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
13 in Houston, KTRK TV.
The bridges standing out almost white against the deep blue of the St. John River, which sits right beyond the eaves of the Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville. Stunning, beautiful day. Almost no wind at all. Temperature middle 70s. Clark will kick it from the 35 with the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise sailing overhead. Billy Sullivan and Lee Burton up there providing the picture for you. Clark's kick. Good one. It is Walker, a yard deep in the end zone. He's a skater. You see him change directions, keeping those feet low, steps short, and he runs it up to about the 29.
Keith, looking ahead about Georgia's offense, they've made very little running and very little passing so far, but Ballou certainly doesn't want to come out and just throw the ball recklessly. Very careful when he puts the ball in the air right now and go into the half no more than 14-0 behind.
He's going to roll it and throw it. He goes short with it to Stewart coming out of the backfield. If he'd had the time to look on downfield, he would have seen a red shirt, Lon Buckler, breaking free on a fly.
Keith, that's the 3rd time that I've seen Georgia receivers get in behind the Florida secondary, but Ballou has not been able to spot it.
Well, it's not easy with folks like Fisher and Jones and Galloway pounding at you either.
And Marshall, Wilbur Marshall. Watch him, the bottom of your screen. He's something else.
Walker takes a head-on belt. Galloway hit him head-on, and then help came. But you could hear it up here The bottle of soda pop wiggled when they collided head-on. Galloway at 274, Walker at about 225.
Charlie Pell thinking, planning, strategy, what he's going to tell his football team at halftime. Keep it poised, still 30 minutes left to play after this 2 minutes and 53 seconds left in this quarter.
3rd and 7 from the 33 of Georgia. Ballou. Oh, down he goes. They blitzed him. It's Wilber Marshall. The first time the Gators have gotten the Georgia quarterback, and Ballou never had a chance.
Well, Wilber Marshall has had 20 tackles this season for loss. 7 sacks. That ties the record. This is 2 for this ball game. Makes it 22 behind the line. That's a Florida career record for one season.
And Georgia's got to kick it away on 4th and long. Broadway is in. Curry is deep for the Gators. Georgia trailing 14-0. Can't get the offense going. Put some pressure on, and Broadway nails it, and Curry back at his 28. Nothing but red shirts around him, and he's down on the 30. That was a 49-yard punt by Broadway. One of their major tests for credibility of their young people. They are young, especially in the offensive front. So far, they've held up well, especially the defensive unit as Jones carries the ball. Brown left in for 2.
In fact, the offense and defense is sprinkled with sophomores and freshmen. They're starting 3 freshmen, Florida is, in this ball game today. In fact, Galloway, number 85 on defense, is the only senior starting. If you look at Vince Dooley, who's got to be really concerned right now as how he can turn things around and get some momentum.
Second down and 8. Draw on a delay. It goes to Jones. Jones is dropped by Eddie Weaver, number 61. Lost a yard. That'll back him up.
Florida will be very careful on 3rd down and long. If they throw it, they're going to throw something to be very safe. Let the receiver catch it and run with it for the 1st down if possible.
Deep drop by Peete. They run him out of there. That is the 4th time Georgia has dropped the Florida quarterback. It was Freddie Gilbert, number 90. Peace has lost 31 yards so far in the 4 sacks in the ball game. They're getting to him, but he burned them one time. Time cool. So Herschel has not broken a big play today, as the Florida defense has just been a wild bunch.
Florida can play the run just about as effectively as anybody I know in America.
Here's the punt now by Bortkiewicz. No pressure on him. He gets it out of there. And a fair catch is called for the Georgia Bulldogs. Back at the 32, Jimmy Harrell coming downfield to make the catch after a 39-yard punt. But good hang time on it, and Florida had good coverage, forcing the fair catch. So the Bulldogs, with 1:10 left on the clock in the first half, down by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. We'll see what they can do from their own 32. Buckler has been the man that's been open quite a bit on the pass patterns. They go short over the middle to Walker coming out of the backfield, and Herschel is up to the 41, 42 as Fernando Jackson again makes the play. Looks like, Frank, that Fernando has been said, wherever 34 goes, you go after him.
Well, that's not unreasonable to say that. I think that's what he does, is just key right on Walker. I'd put him right on him every play.
Ballou to put it up again. He throws to Norris Brown. Brown had his hands on it, took a wicked hit from Tony Lilly, and couldn't hang on, and Brown is shaken up.
One thing the safety man is supposed to do, if they throw that tight end, you're supposed to make him pay for it. You're going to see a perfect illustration. Brown is vulnerable. He's up in the air, and you can see that he gets hit from the side, and the ball pops out incomplete.
And that hurts. You're hanging out there like the laundry when they nail you on that kind of a play, because your body is extended and you're just fair game. Ballou now is 4 out of 9 for only 31 yards passing. And the numbers on Herschel Walker here in the first half are 16 carries for 67 yards. He has not been held under 100 yards this season. The comparison numbers of the two quarterbacks as Brown gets up and runs off the field. You see that Peace has gone for 141 yards and a touchdown.
Well, and looking at Buck Ballou's passing record, you would say that's not bad if Walker's running up and down the field. The Georgia offense is moving the ball on the ground, but since they're not moving on the ground, that is going to get them in trouble if they don't improve.
Second down and 10. Ballou. He goes deep to the right side, and the pass is caught. The pass is caught by Scott Williams. The Florida defensive man fell down trying to stay with him, and if he had not gone out of bounds, he'd have scored. As Brown gets up and runs off the field, you see that Peace has gone for 141 yards and a touchdown.
Well, and looking at Buck Ballou's passing record, you would say that's not bad if Walker's running up and down the field. The Georgia offense is moving the ball on the ground, but since they're not moving on the ground, that is going to get them in trouble if they don't improve.
Second down and 10. Ballou. He goes deep to the right side, and the pass is caught. The pass is caught by Scott Williams. The Florida defensive man fell down trying to stay with him, and if he had not gone out of bounds, he'd have scored.
He was all the way behind the Florida secondary. You can see it's a throwback pattern, and Scott Williams is going right out the line of scrimmage and down the field. Number 30, you can see that 93 Weigman is trying to cover him. Johnson, I'm sorry, is trying to cover him, the defensive end.
This time Williams can't quite hang on. He got one hand on it, but he couldn't get the handle, and so it falls incomplete. And the other linebacker, Jackson, had dropped off the cover in the short zone. Well, what they're trying to do now is to get those quick people out there one-on-one with linebackers.
Johnson is 6'3" and weighs 225 pounds, and he was covering the tight end all the way down the field, and he tripped, and the pass was completed.
The ball is sitting at the Florida 24. Second down and 10 for Georgia. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Pass short, pass complete to Lindsey Scott. No, it's Herschel Walker. And Walker, touchdown! Herschel Walker circles out of the backfield and takes it into the corner, and the Bulldogs are on the board with 31 seconds to play in the first half. Kevin Butler for the extra point try. Broadway, the punter, puts it down. Butler hits it, and the freshman from Stone Mountain drills it.
Keith, that was just perfect illustration of poise by the quarterback, waiting. If you watch Ballou, he's going to look downfield, wait for the receivers to push the linebackers and the backs deep. Walker circles right out of the backfield. Then his 9.2 speed gets him into the end zone. Watch it. He slows down, gives a little inside fake, then turns on the speed. Curry, number 26, might have a chance. No, he can't get him. Finally, Lilly, number 36, misses him. Cannot stop him from scoring. Boy, that is a tremendous break for Georgia, putting those points as we look at Herschel Walker. Keith, that's more than 7 points. Going into the half, instead of trailing 14-0, they're back in the ball game.
One other thing that sticks out, Frank, is that Buck Ballou on that drive hit 3 out of 5 passes for 68 yards.
He's not particularly known for a type of quarterback that comes from behind. He's more of a play-action pass, mixing it up when they have good running. It's resting on his shoulders.
So we're closing down on the end of the first half with a ball game on our hands. Georgia will kick it off to Florida. And Lorenzo Hampton, number 7, is the deep man for the Gators. Oh, that Butler's got some leg. He knocks it way back in the end zone, and Hampton will have nothing to do with it. right, let's see what Florida will do with it. 31 seconds to play. They're going to run out the clock. Most of that hooting, I think, probably coming from the folks wearing red.
They would like for Florida to take some chances and give Georgia another scoring opportunity. Florida very wisely will sit on it, go out the half with a 14-7 lead.
Steve Davis is going to be talking with Charlie Pell just as soon as time runs out, and you can see the clock winding it off now. First half is over.
Oh, see, it's a great second half of football.
What kind of adjustments did you make on defense?
Well, we wanted to try to take the fullback from taking the 5 and 8, 10 yards of ball control that they've been able to do by hitting the corner. And we can't give them the cheap touchdown that we did. We just, we were in man defense, and the guy didn't cover it.
Okay, thanks, Keith.
The kickoff is in the air. It goes to Lindsey Scott at the goal line, and Scott looks to the left sideline, fumbles the football, and it is out of bounds. Now, did Florida possess it?
Still
no.
Georgia's ball.
Florida did not possess it. Scott Marshall came down and hit him. A Florida man almost caught it on the fly, but then he couldn't hang on to it, and here's how it happened, and what a lucky break for Georgia.
It is a lucky break. Lindsey Scott is a wide receiver, not a running back. He's got the ball on the inside arm where the helmet just hit it head up and knocked it right out. Florida could have recovered it. They couldn't grab the handle, and they went right out of bounds. Georgia's ball.
Oh, they're lucky. At the 14, first down for the Bulldogs. They give it to Walker. Walker is spun down about the line of scrimmage very quickly. Buck Bellew at quarterback, Ronnie Stewart full, Herschel Walker the tailback, Scott Flanker and Buckler the split in. Up front, it's Gray, Radloff, Happy, who's a brand new daddy. Brown, Harper, and Brown. And second down and 10 for Georgia. Walker's carried 17 times, 67 yards. This is the 18th carry, and he tacks on some here as he gets it out to the 21-22. Picked up 8 yards on the carry. The defensive unit now for Florida. Alonzo Johnson is the linebacker, defensive end. Freshman David Galloway, that big fella, 274. Robin Fisher, the nose guard, 240. And Alton Jones at 245. Wilbur Marshall at 233, a sophomore. And Fernando Jackson, who had an outstanding first half at 207. Tom Wiegman at 225. Herschel Walker has now crossed 3,000 yards in his career. He's got it again, going for the first down, and I don't think he made it. Didn't make it. Did not make it. Tom Wiegman and Robin Fisher coming in. Vito McKeever is a cornerback for the Gators. Ivory Curry, who also returns kicks for them. Sonny Gilliam, the strong safety. And Tony Lilly, who put a big hit on Norris Brown to separate him from the ball on a pass play earlier. The ball is just at the 21 of Georgia, and the Bulldogs have got to kick it away with Curry going deep. Broadway, the punter, Curry, the receiver. A 14-7, Florida lead. The kick is off by Broadway, and he hangs it up there for Curry. Curry looks for some help and doesn't get much. He took it about quarterback, Jones, Miller, Spencer Jackson, and Broughton Lang. Jackson hasn't seen the ball yet today. Plonk, Frazier, Bromley, Schulteis, Fike, and Malarkey. Oh, the big people up front for Florida. And as I said earlier, there's a lot of spirit about.
These students, there's something, aren't they, Keith?
Yeah,
they got the spirit.
Been well behaved today. The whole weekend has been most festive. He steps back. That short pattern. Pops it in there. And he's lucky that was not picked off. I'll tell you right now, Bobo had the best chance of catching that ball. He's wearing a red shirt, and Lang is hurt. Dale Carver, the defensive end, 215. Jimmy Payne, who had a good first half, 243, a junior. Eddie Weaver, there's the meat cleaver, 270 pounds. Tim Crow, 232 pounds. Freddie Gilbert, who had a big first half, a sophomore. Nate Taylor, a linebacker. And Tommy Thurston is the other linebacker, another sophomore. Second down and 10. And Peace gets it off. It is caught by Lang. He was hobbling a moment ago. He goes up the ladder and he pulls it down and is close to a first down for the Florida Gators, and Peace really drilled it.
Lang is going to go down working one-on-one. All he's got to do is make the defensive back think he's going deep. This he accomplishes. He turns around. The ball is right there. He very wisely works back to the ball, gives him time to catch it, put it away before Harris gets to him to pull him down.
Chains on the field now. Peace, 10 out of 19, 150 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. Let's see if he's got his first.
This is a very critical possession for Georgia.
Ron Harris, a cornerback, who had a good first half himself. Dale Williams, the other cornerback, he's out of Columbus, Georgia. Steve Kelly, 173. And Terry Hogue, right now, is not in there with Tim Bobo playing a rover position. It is a first down, as you saw, for the Florida Gators. Here goes the man that scored the touchdown. Steve Miller is the ball loose. Georgia's jumping around. Let's wait.
The ball was loose, but it was called dead by the official.
That defensive, once they start jumping around, I guess they're trying to do a little selling.
Oh, very definitely. That sometimes might have an effect. I hope not. But you see Miller, who's the walk-on. We talked earlier. Scored the touchdown, as Keith mentioned. Turns up for 5 yards. Real tough yardage.
Ball is just inside the Georgia 40. They give it to Miller again. Coming wide. He's got some room. Oh, look at that second effort. He gets that ball down to the 35, and he gets another first down for the Gators.
Steve Miller, for you youngsters that like to play football, he's only 5'9". He weighs 165 pounds. He had no scholarship. He called and said, I want to walk on. And he has been a big factor in this ball game.
Lost his shoe, has to go out of the ball game, and John L. Brown comes in to replace him at tailback. No, he hasn't really been a tailback all that much today in the way the Gators have set up their offense. And they move Jones over into that left halfback position now, the big fullback. He's the lone remaining back. Peace is going to throw it on first down. He's going to eat it. That's what he's going to do. He's been sacked 5 times as Gilbert gets to him at midfield.
Freddie Gilbert, quite a football player. He missed 4 football games this season because of an injury. Number 90, look at his stance. He knows one thing. I'm going after the passer. And you can see the tackle Fike is trying to keep him out, but that's just a little bit of a mismatch. Fike is 6'6", 270 pounds. He can't do it.
Well, the other thing
Gilbert
is
goes right on back and makes the stop.
The Georgia secondary had Peace's people well covered, and the loss is 14 yards, or almost 15, back to midfield. Big loss. Second down at about 25. Peace gets it off under duress, and Bobo slaps it away. Had a chance for an interception, but Tim couldn't get a hold of it. He had double coverage on Lang going down the sidelines, and Jimmy Payne was in there beating on Wayne Peace like he was a bass drum.
Oh, he was, Keith. Payne was coming from the right, and Gilbert was coming from the left, and they were just before sandwiching Peace, the quarterback. He got the ball away just in time. Could have been intercepted.
Third down at about 25.
You put Gilbert on one side and Payne on the other, Keith, and that's tough to protect.
Plus Big Eddie in the middle. Florida's leading by 7 points. They swing it out this time to Miller. Miller surrounded by red shirts. And it's kicking time. Tim Crow and Freddie Gilbert.
Give that Georgia defense credit. 2 first downs, then they rise right up and stopped it. Rushing the pass has been the key for Georgia.
Third quarter time right there. And Harrell is beat. Jimmy Harrell goes back for the Bulldogs. Borokevich to punt. Gets it off. Not too long, but it sure is hanging up there a long time. And a fair catch called downfield by the Bulldogs. So Georgia will have the football first down at its 21.
That may be a first.
I think it is. From the 22 for Georgia. First down, Bulldogs. They trail by 7. Herschel Walker has the ball, and he's got about a yard, and that's going to get him back to 3,000. A while ago, when he lost a yard, that took him back under 3,000, 29.99, and it looks to me like he got a yard there.
Keith, I should point out, I worked in this game last year. Georgia had somewhat the same situation. They were trailing. They tried to rely entirely, as we look at Bill Lewis talking to the defense, on Herschel Walker. They couldn't do it. They've got to go to pass.
Safety up in there and hurry on cover 3.
Second down and about 9. I think they'll give Walker a yard on that carry. He got it again. Up the middle, he blows it. Whoa, boy. Out across the 35 to near the 38. And his feet are taken from under him by Vito McKeever. And that's the only thing that stopped him from going all the way.
That's what they would like to see is Herschel run for the touchdown, long run. It was the lead draw, the only play that he's made any consistent yardage with. So far as he has 90 yards so 2.5 quarters.
About the 37. Call it there. Got it again. They're riding the big horse. The Florida defense turns him inside after about a yard on that carry. Fernando Jackson over there. And so was number 51, Tim Newton.
One thing that the opposing teams have been doing to Walker, Keith, the 3 coaches told me that this weekend they're tackling him very low. Last year, the defensive backs tried to tackle him high. He ran over him. Now they're trying to tackle him right at the ankles.
Yeah, he is. You're just not going to get him high. It's too strong. Second down and 9. Give it to Walker again. He goes up the middle. He crosses the 40 to the 44. They need 3 for the first down. Looking at the scores that are complete now, since we are the late game. Number 1, Pittsburgh, coming from behind. They trailed 3-0, but then they rolled. Southern California at halftime, only 7 over California. And number 3, Clemson, a narrow 10-8 victory over North Carolina today at Chapel Hill. Penn State beat North Carolina State by 7. The ball with Ballou. Ballou looks for Scott and lofts it downfield. Scott banged into one of the Florida defenders, had no chance to get to the ball. He and Vito McKeever were bumping numbers downfield.
We ought to watch what happens to Scott. McKeever's going to collision him 10 yards downfield. Watch it. Scott would run right by him, but McKeever collisions him, gives him a chance to get back even with him, and the ball was way overthrown. I think that's legal as long as the receiver is in front of the defensive back.
And Ballou, seeing the problem he was in, just unloaded it to save the yardage rather than get sacked, and now it's 4th down, the punt from Broadway. He's got it off. It's a high one, not very long. And out of bounds. Well, Florida gets the ball. First down at its 27. So they get pretty good field position. Very mild evening. And the Florida Gators leading. Give the ball off to number 20, the tailback, Steve Miller. Miller gets it across the 30. He gained 3 yards on that carry.
One thing that the Georgia defense is very capable of doing is forcing a fumble or interception. They've had a couple of near interceptions already in the ball game earlier. Georgia defense has got to get their offense some good field position.
Looks like Jerry Faust getting the Fighting Irish rolling along now. And there's a big score out of the Big Ten. Second down and 7 for Florida from the 30. That's James Jones, the big fullback, to the 33. They need 4 more. Iowa beating Purdue. Hayden Fry getting his offense rolling today. His offense has been very quiet the last couple of weeks. But the Hawks got it going today. And Wisconsin rolling again today. And that sets up next week in a ball game at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin. And Northwestern now is possessor of 29 consecutive losses. That's an NCAA record. Third down 4. Whistle stops it. Time called by the Gators of Florida as Wayne Peace, number 15, goes quickly to the sidelines to talk to the coaches. Third down and the long 3 for Florida. Heats on. He's trying to set up the screen to Miller and doesn't work. Number 91, Tim Crow, came untouched. The senior out of Stone Mountain, and Peace just had to get rid of it, but there was a red shirt between him and Miller, and he had to lob it, and it didn't work. And so Florida will have to kick it.
Ben throw. Real steady football player, number 91. Playing right opposite Meat Cleaver Weibo.
Which means he's been busy.
Yes. Yards, 4.2 average. 14-1 is really impressive that Georgia has won when Herschel has rushed for over 100 yards.
I guess based on what he did last year and based on what has been happening this year for him as well as Marcus Allen of Southern California, you'd have to say these two tailbacks would have to be your prime Heisman candidates. There are others certainly, and there are regional preferences that are going to take away some votes from both of them. But right now, based on what is happening for their respective teams, you'd have to guess that it's Allen and Walker in the Heisman balloting.
I'm not sure what the officials came over to talk to Vince Dooley about, but I would think it has something to do with timeouts.
Now he's going across to consult with Charlie Pell.
I've had that happen many times to get some confusion as to which team was charged a timeout. Timeout on me, I believe is what he's saying, Keith. Not going to be charged to Georgia. I read his lips.
He must have said that because that was a baleful reaction from Charlie.
I don't blame him. Those timeouts can be so important at the end of the ball game. Charlie Pell is a tough competitor. You know that, Keith. Boy, he's an intense person.
He's another one of Bears boys. All right, second down and a yard for the first down. Florida sets a 5-man front, and they give it to Walker. Walker going for his first down, and he's got it. No, it's not Walker. It's Stewart, the fullback, 33.
Ronnie Stewart has over a 6-yard average for Georgia this year because everybody is so preoccupied with what Walker is doing. He kind of sneaks through on the quick hitters and made the first down.
The football is sitting at the Florida 44. We've got exactly 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
First down is an awfully good time to throw the ball against Florida.
Well, they've got a 6-man front up there, and they're going to put it up. Ballou on a roll gets it away just as Marshall decks him, and the pass is completed to Lindsey Scott on the far sideline.
The reason I say it's a good time to throw because Florida is in a base defense on first down most of the time. There's no blitz. You can see Ballou has plenty of time to find the receiver Scott open on the boundary. It's just going to be a turnout flat pattern, 101. Wide open. All Ballou's got to do is get the ball in, and of course Scott cradles it in as McKeever 47 makes the play.
And he gets a Georgia first down at the Florida 31. Bulldogs are moving the ball here in the third quarter. They go to Walker. Walker shakes one man in the backfield. Bangs in there and gets 3, maybe 4 before Fernando Jackson can put him down.
That was a typical illustration of Walker and how strong he is, Keith, up in the upper body. Someone hit him in the backfield for a loss, and it just didn't stop him. He went right on in for some yardage. Herschel Walker, number 34.
Give him 3. He now has 27 carries and 113 yards. Back it goes to Walker, and he runs into a stack down around the 26 of Florida. The Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys are featured on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern Time. And that's a big one.
You'll see a lot of passing. Joe Ferguson of Buffalo and Danny White of Dallas are two of the finest passing quarterbacks in the NFL.
Cowboys stumbled some a few weeks ago, but came back with a big win last week against Philadelphia. Buffalo, tough, solid team coached by Chuck Knox. Ballou's pass flipped over the middle of the fullback, Ronnie Stewart. Stewart's got it big. He's down to the 12-yard line. So Buck Ballou throwing on the move as he was dropping back. Gets Georgia down to the Florida 12.
Watch it again as you see Ronnie Stewart, number 33. He's going to fake a block just right over the line of scrimmage, and Buck gets the ball to him, and watch Stewart run for the goal line. Makes one man miss it. Makes a nice gain for the first down.
That time Ronnie wrapped both arms around that thing, too.
Boy, well, he's thinking. That's what he should do. All he wants is keep that football.
Oh, just short of the 12. They go to Herschel with it, and Herschel is caught behind the line of scrimmage and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. 67, Alton Jones in on the play, along with the nose guard, Robin Fisher.
Boy, that Robin Fisher is a fine football player, Keith. I've looked at the film. He's only 6 feet, 240, but he runs a 4.6 in the 40-yard dash, extreme quickness, and he has the ability to tackle the players on sweeps.
Lost 4, second down, and 14 from the Florida 16. Scott goes in motion. Ballou looks for him, throws toward him, hits him. He didn't hang on. Coming across is Tony Lilly to strip the ball away.
You're going to watch Scott go down and break out, and you're going to see how closely he is covered, but Ballou is right on the target. I think Scott holds the ball momentarily, and then he dropped his Lilly number 18, strips him free of the ball. Great play by the safety man, Lilly.
Yeah, because I think Lindsey had enough of a grip on it to retain it.
He should have retained it. He had time to catch it, and he should have held on to it with both hands, not try to put it away.
12th play for Georgia. They started back on their 21. Ballou back. He puts it in the air over the middle to Herschel Walker. Walker, touchdown!
See Walker again take a block, go right over the line of scrimmage, but watch the run as Curry, number 26, tries to hit him high. Keith, that's what we're talking about.
Cannot hold him high.
You cannot, with Curry weighing 185 pounds, you've got to tackle Walker at the ankles.
The kick by Butler is good. 2 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the third. Hanger.
Another 116
coming. He cut away from the wedge.
2 News turned it around the second quarter
by Stan Dooley. Back around the 13. The numbers on the Georgia scoring drive and the numbers on Herschel in there in pass receiving. 4 for 55, his second touchdown of the day. Ballou now is 10 out of 18 for 152. With
Miami of Florida on to Virginia Tech next week. Washington and UCLA. This game now at halftime.
All right, here come the Gators with Young, flanked wide to the right, out of the picture, the bottom. Ball just short of the 14, and Peace sets up the throw. It goes for Young, and he missed it. Penalty flag thrown. Looks like it might be a holding call or an illegal use of the hands down there. Eddie Weaver's a Georgia man pointing at one of the Florida fellas, saying, hey, he's a holding on to my coattail. Try to keep it on the ground, give it to Steve Miller. Miller gets it out to about the 7. And that's it. Again, go back to the play. Now watch on the left-hand side, number 61, Weaver, and then number 50.
The block is illegal because Weaver is being blocked by the right guard, Schulteis, and when Bromley throws at his knee, you can see the risk of injury. The rule has just been in the book 2 years, Keith.
And it's a good one. Second down. The ball is at the 7. They've got to go to the 24 to get a first down. They try a little swing pass out of the backfield to Miller, and it's not there. And so right now, the Georgia Bulldogs would seem to have momentum in their colors, wouldn't it?
They definitely do, and momentum plays such a big factor in any football game. You can see that Georgia, the way they line up, the gate by the way they take their position, they believe they're going to win this football game. Their defense can do it for them. It has in the past.
Florida's tried to run the ball 30 times today, and I say try because they've only picked up 33 yards over 30 carries. Third down, and it's still about 17. He's in trouble in the end zone. Tries to throw it away.
And it's a safety if he calls. Nope, he didn't do it. He let the pass be a legal pass.
Jimmy Payne was the man that was climbing his wagon, and he was able to unload it.
Let's look and watch Jimmy Payne and just see how he is so effective as a pass rusher. Number 87, right on your left of your screen. Look at his hand. Boy, was he quick. He went right by fight number 69. And you can see he's got Peach in his grasp, and Peach very wisely gets rid of it to avoid the safety.
I thought it was down.
I did too. I thought it was illegal grounding, which would have been a safety.
Borakevich hits it out of there. Saylor, good kick. Drives Jimmy Harrow back to his own 45. He gets a little help back there, and then he... The
most effective pattern that Ballou has been throwing is the delayed to Stewart over the middle, coming out of the backfield, or Walker coming out of the backfield. The reason that's so, the linebackers of Florida keep it dropping so deep, they cannot come up and make the tackle.
You see UCLA has jumped out now to an 11-point lead over the Washington Huskies at halftime. 2nd down and 7. Ballou rolls it left. He was looking for Brown, couldn't find him. He gets into the secondary, and he gets a Georgia first down. Good running by Buck Ballou down to the Florida 32-13.
Not only good running, but a great decision. You can watch, he's going to roll to the left, and Brown is going to be covered. And he's looking for Brown, and once he sees there's a chance for an interception, he shows his poise, his confidence, his wherewithal, and then he makes a nice run for the first down. Georgia's threatening again.
14-14 tie as we wind down to the end of the 3rd quarter. Give it to Walker. Herschel over the right side. See him go down low and then leverage up as he runs into Fernando Jackson. He gets a pretty good chunk of yardage on the play.
The Georgia offensive line really got some movement on that play. All across Happy and Harper and Brown made good blocks.
Walker gained 6, 2nd down and 4. Ball just inside the 27 of Florida. Walker runs into Wilber Marshall at the 25, falls ahead to the 24. So the 3rd quarter is over. A 14-14 tie. We'll continue after. We go to the 4th quarter. Georgia's ball. 3rd down, 2 at the Florida 24. Goodyear Blimp Enterprise out of Pompano Beach, giving you the picture with Captain Werner Hamp, cameraman's Billy Sullivan, and Lee Burton. 3rd and 2, double tight end. Ballou on a roll, penalty flag down, thrown to the linesman. Ballou turns the corner, dives for the marker. He's close. Let's see about the penalty.
It looked like the Georgia people moved a little bit. No, they didn't. It's against Florida.
Okay, on the first play, it looks like it's going to be a first down for the Georgia Bulldogs deep in Florida territory. Let's set you up very briefly now. It's what situation is, for example, for Georgia. Bulldogs won the national championship last year by beating Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. They have lost one time. They lost outside the conference to Clemson at Clemson in a game marked by turnovers and some great defensive play by the Clemson Tigers, who are still undefeated. The call by Joe Hitz coming up.
Defensive team offside.
The Alabama Crimson Tide with 1 remaining conference game. Georgia has a conference game remaining with Auburn as well, so the Auburn Tigers have a chance to be a spoiler here in this Alabama-Georgia situation. But the Bulldogs conceivably could get back into the Sugar Bowl. They conceivably could play a top-ranked team. They conceivably could repeat as the national champions. But they've got to handle Florida first. They give the ball to Herschel Walker on the first down from the 19. He is rolled back after he picks up a couple, maybe 3. The numbers after 3 periods of play.
Look at the stats on Georgia with 141 yards rushing, and they picked up with 152 passing. Florida, as we said at the top of the show, if they don't establish some run, they have very little chance really to stay in the ball game for 60 minutes. Conspicuous, Georgia's passing is picked up. Florida made 16 yards in the 3rd quarter total offense.
14-14 tie at 2nd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. As Buck Ballou rolls it out, he looks downfield, he drills the ball. It is caught by Buckler, and Buckler's inside the 5. 1st and goal to go for Georgia.
Keith, that was a tremendous throw by Buck Ballou. He's rolling to his right. It's not easy to throw the ball on the hook. He turns his shoulders, watch him, and get the ball right down low where the receiver, Buckler's going to catch it, cannot be intercepted, and he fights for a little extra yardage.
It's 1st and goal to go for the Georgia Bulldogs on the Florida Gators 4-yard line. 13:50 to play in the 4th quarter. The ball game. Ballou pitches to Walker. Walker had to wait for it. Now gets turning around the corner. He's got a touchdown. So Herschel Walker, who seemed a bit tentative in his running in the early going of the ball game, has scored all 3 of Georgia's touchdowns, and the Bulldogs take the lead for the first time in the game. Kevin Butler is in for the extra point try out of Jim Broadway's hold. It is no good. He hooked it. He hooked it out of the uprights.
I want to see that Ballou juggles the ball. The pulling guard nearly knocked it out of his hands, but then when we see Walker with speed, this is no substitute for the speed that Herschel Walker has. He just outruns and dives for the touchdown, barely getting across. On the replay, watch Ballou fumble the ball from some of the exchange. The ball bounces right up. He catches it, very poised. He turns and still pitches it out to Walker, and Walker uses the speed that he has, something like 9.3 in the 100, beats the Florida Gators to the corner of the flag, lowers his shoulder, and goes in for the touchdown.
And footnoting further, Kevin Butler has now broken the Georgia SEC record for consecutive extra points by a team at 130. Rex Robinson had 101. Butler had added 29 without a miss. Now he is missed, and the string is broken. Butler comes ahead to kick it, and he nails it way back. Almost kicked it through the uprights. Been most impressive.
Sensational. Just sensational because he was doing it when the Georgia was behind.
All right, here are the Gators, who were totally inept in the third quarter. Wayne Peace spins around, turns up, and nails his man in the secondary. And the play with big Chris Faulkner coming off injury at 6'5", 248, a junior from Indiana.
This is one thing that Peace does real well. He fakes the trap up the middle, then raises up, lays the ball over the linebackers to Faulkner, number 80, who's one real fine athlete. As Keith mentioned, he's been hurt most of the season, and that has handicapped Florida a great deal.
27-yard pickup. The ball is now out at the 47 of Florida. First down for the Gators. And Peace on a deep drop and a roll this time. He throws. The pass is caught down around the 41 of Georgia. And again, he drilled it. Spencer Jackson, who had not seen the ball all day, suddenly curls back into one, and he got it right on the numbers.
There's Buck Ballou's figure. Has been just sensational, showing great poise, taking Georgia from 14-0 deficit to a quick touchdown after the half, and then 2 in the third quarter.
Mark it the 42 of Georgia. First down for the Gators. Florida passing game now beginning to consume some real estate.
Here comes the blitz.
Doesn't give him a chance. He just nails Lang on the sidelines very quickly for an 8-yard pickup inside the 35 to the 34. So the Gators now trying to fight back with 12:40 to play in the ball game. They'll be looking at second down and 2. Let's see if they go deep.
It's a good time to go deep. You got somebody open. Don't take the loss. That's all he wants to avoid.
They go on the ground to Miller. And Miller goes for the first down at about the Georgia 31. Nate Taylor, linebacker, brought him down. Will Forge went out earlier in the ball game, and I don't know that he's been back.
One thing we want to remind the people is Butler's missed extra point looms bigger and bigger right now, Keith.
Well, it was 21-20 a year ago when you had the miracle play of Ballou to Scott.
And it was a miracle play. I was here.
Might have checked it off. Sack. Dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Guess who? Jimmy Payne, number 87. 6th time Georgia has been able to drop the Florida quarterback.
Jimmy Payne, number 87, is the left of your screen. Peace is going to try to raise up. The guard, Frazier, was trying to cut him with a chop block, as we call, but he couldn't do it. Payne comes right in and tackles him for a 5-yard loss. Payne, number 87, having a sensational game.
Loss is back to outside the 35. Second down at about 15. 14. Deeper drop. Whips one to Lang. It is incomplete. The pass knocked away by Bobo. Tim Bobo made that play.
Bobo was covering Lang man for man. Made a great play to prevent the completion.
Vince is showing a little strain now.
Well, he should be. Boy, this is a big ball game. Everything is on the line for this year. Everything he dreamed of, he hoped for. The conference championship, Sugar Bowl bid, possibly in a national championship.
Third down, 14. Peace goes over the middle with it. He's got Lang. He's got a first down. Down at the Georgia 15. Mark it maybe inside the 15 to the 14.
That was a lot of poise. Peace is going to just dump the ball over the linebackers again. Watch Lang, number 2. You can see 47, Taylor jumping up, but he couldn't touch it. And Lang cradles it in and makes the first down on the 15-yard line. Here's Lang coming underneath. Bobo could not stay with him. Taylor jumps, the ball's over his head, and Lang makes the first down.
Just inside the 15, they give the ball to Miller, and Miller goes to the 10. I tell you, that little guy whacks in there, doesn't he? He's only 5'9", 165, but he'll put it on you.
If you've joined this late, he's a walk-on, scored the touchdown, just came on the campus this fall. Number 20, 5'9", 165, as we look at the numbers of Wayne Peace, the sophomore quarterback for Florida.
Second down and 5. The ball is at the Georgia 10. Georgia leading 20 to 14. 10:30 to play in the ball game. He stands up, lobs it toward the corner. Touchdown! Spencer Jackson. Great catch by Jackson, a poised play by Peace. The score is tied at 20. The tiebreaker is up, and it is good, and Florida is back on top, 21 to 20, with 10 minutes and 25 seconds to play in a whale of a football game in the Gator Bowl. Out of 6 passes for 77 yards and a terrific catch by Jackson, and here's the kickoff. And just drops it, picks it up. Now he's looking for some help. Gets a little bit of help. And finally, he is put down at the 18. And let's go back to the touchdown.
This could be the biggest pass that Wayne Peace has ever thrown in his life. It's perfect, what we call a fade pattern. The receiver just fades to the outside. Let's see if it's a legal pass. Yes, Jackson comes down with it with his left foot in bounds. Here's Jackson again. He's going to fake. Williams, number 9, is playing him man for man. It's a fade pattern. The quarterback just lays it over his shoulder towards the boundary. A beautiful play, just beautiful.
The kick was good, and it's a 21 to 20 ball game, and Georgia has just been nailed with a clip. On the kickoff return, the football is put down at the Georgia 5 as Jackson celebrates on the sidelines. Brian Clark's extra point now, the big difference. As Buck Bellew turns and gives to Herschel Walker, and Walker comes out to the 9 before he is brought down. And then David Galloway, number 85, made the play. There are the numbers on the touchdown drive for Florida that regains the lead for them at 21 to 20. There's still a lot of time to play.
That was a tremendous come-from-behind drive with Peace passing for most of the yardage.
Second down and 6 for the Bulldogs at the 9. Bellew gives it to Walker. Walker gets around the corner. Powers up for what appears to be a first down. Banging it up to the 17. So the Bulldogs have some room to operate. From New York, here's Dave Dial.
All right, Keith, take a look at this final score. Brigham Young 63 and Colorado State 14. Now take a look at these statistics for Jim McMahon. Now, these are not season statistics. This is just one game. 44 out of 65, 539 yards, and 7 touchdown passes. Keith?
Good heavens. You're right, Dave. That is a career for some folks. He did it in one day. Here's Walker dancing around, looking for some daylight. And Herschel finds a little bit. Gets it out to the 19. Got 2 yards. Fernando Jackson once again there.
I was waiting for you to call his name. He's just eyeballing Herschel Walker and trying to stay with him wherever he goes.
Walker now 140 yards on 36 carries. And he has scored all 3 of Georgia's touchdowns. 1 running and 2 as a pass receiver. Second down and 8. Buck Bellew gets in a little bit of trouble, but shakes it off. Look at him turn around the corner. Oh, what a hit. Galloway at 274 pounds, and Tom Wiegman were over there, and they turned Buck around.
You're going to see it's a bootleg type pass where he's going to fake one way and go back and try to find the fullback in the flat, but the fullback is covered. Bellew starts trying to. You're going to see number 68. Warren Gray, the left tackle, make the block that frees him a little bit more, and then 49. There's Fernando Jackson along with Galloway.
And it's 3rd down and 8. Give it to Walker. Walker goes against the grain, gets to the left side, dives, searching for the marker. He's close to it. He's close to it. Just depends on what they give him. He's got a first down. Boy, he's strong.
He is so strong that it's just really tough for a defensive back to make the play. Defensive back weighs 190 pounds or 185, and Walker at 220 gets down low, gives him that shoulder pad. Not much room to tackle him high. Got to go at him low. Boy, that Buck Bellew is doing a tremendous job. There's Herschel Walker for the day.
Not too bad, huh?
And those pass receptions are good key.
Clarence Kay, the tight end for Georgia, breaks the snap count.
Keith, those stats showed Walker's pass reception for the ball game. I think it's interesting that for the season, Walker had only caught 8 passes for a total of 18 yards, 2.3 yards per reception, but he's been the hero today.
But he's so remarkable. Oftentimes you see big, strong backs like that. The call here by Joe Hicks.
But I've never seen another Herschel Walker in my time.
No. No, sir.
And what a fine young man. He's been handling all of this publicity and acclaim so beautifully. Looks a little tired, doesn't he?
Yep. Bellew trying to get out. Oh, look at that. He gets away and he hits Lindsey Scott up on the 30. He was almost caught back there in the secondary, but he got away from Alonzo Johnson. Coming up next Saturday, Penn State, Alabama, we know that one's on. There are a lot of important and meaningful and attractive games for the consideration of our telecast next Saturday. It'll be a doubleheader day. The one game that's been locked down is Alabama at Penn State. The other games will be announced at the beginning of the week. On 2nd down and 7, Bellew turns it up the middle. Has some room, and he is just short of his first down as he gets it up across the 36 to the 37.
As a football coach, you cannot say too much about Buck Bellew. The receivers were covered. He had no chance to throw the ball, but he has the ability to turn up and come close to the first down marker.
I think Georgia looking to buy a little moment to catch their breath and probably plot a little bit and ask for a measurement. They are entitled to do so. In come the change. It is close enough to be a reasonable request. And got a first down.
Yes, and Georgia, time left on the clock, 6 minutes. How about that? Chewing the gator up. So they've got to do something in 6 minutes and 34 seconds, or they're going to lose this football game.
Well, August certainly into the spirit of things. Well, it's first down for the Bulldogs. The ball is just outside the 37. Gators now trying to lock the door on them. They lead by 21-20, and Bellew sets it up to throw. He throws. It is knocked down. The man he was trying to deliver the ball to was Lindsey Scott, and Alonzo Johnson slapped it away, but Scott was in a bunch of white shirts back there. I don't know if he had a chance.
I was going to say the same thing. He might be lucky that the ball was knocked down because it very easily could have been intercepted. Three defensive men surrounding Scott.
Bellew is now 12 out of 21, 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has not been intercepted. 6 minutes and 14 seconds, as you see, remaining to play in the game. Florida leading 21-20. On second down and 10, they give it to Walker. Walker gets a good block to get around the corner. Ronnie Stewart through the block that opened the door for him, and Herschel uses the door to cross midfield to the Florida 49, and another Georgia first down. 161 yards for Herschel.
We can look for the Florida defense now to go into some type of stunt as we watch the replay. Walker.
Watch Stewart here.
Stewart, number 33, makes the key block on number 43 on the cornerback. And then Walker keeps his poise and stays in bounds and makes the first down.
Walker. Bang. Jackson. Tim Newton as well.
Two-man offense primarily for Georgia. Depends so much on Walker's running and Ballou's passing. Pretty good combination, as Keith said, something like Southern Cal, depending on their quarterback in Marcus Allen.
Second down and 10. Ball is on the Florida 49.
Well, it rests on his shoulders, Keith, whether Georgia's going to pull it out.
Chased out of the pocket. He's got some room on the sideline and quickly steps out of bounds to avoid the punishment down around the 47. Alton Jones, 67, and Robin Fisher, 66, were after him. And USC now in the fourth quarter, 14-3 over California. California had been in the run-and-shoot offense through much of the season. It just simply had not been productive. So they dropped it and went back to their split-back offense, and they've become tough all of a sudden, and that is a corrected score. Washington has not scored as yet against UCLA.
You can look for Ballou going for the back out of the backfield again. That's where he's been most successful.
On 3rd and 8. Over the middle it goes. The pass is caught by Lindsey Scott down at the Florida 30.
Well, that was a perfect read. Walker had released out of the backfield. The linebacker jumped on him, and when he did, that opened up Scott deep in the middle. The linebacker's up covering Walker out of the backfield. Good throw and good catch, and very timely. 3rd and 10.
Scott has caught 4 for 46 yards in the ball game.
Now Florida's linebackers do not know whether to drop deep or stay up and cover the line halfbacks.
First down, Florida 30. Walker, big hole. About 9. Down to around the 21.
The draw play for Georgia has been the best running play, where they fake a little bit of a pass, and 33 Stewart just opens up the hole, and you're going to see Walker just one man. Curry, number 26, he tackles him high and gets him down. Scott was blocking on Curry, and if he had made a successful block, Walker would have scored.
Walker with 170 yards on 40 carries. He's gained 103 yards in this half. 2nd and 1. Again, he goes into the middle. He's almost loose. They get him at the 3. He just about broke that one. Lilly got him at the 3. You see him go limp-legged through that line. Somebody had him, and he just shook him off.
Somebody hit him in the line, as you said, Keith, but that was the really Herschel Walker that we've been seeing in the past. He exploded, accelerated through the hole. He was not going to be denied. Let's see it again. Over the right part of your screen, 33. Walker, Stewart knocking the linebacker down. Watch him. Pick up that leg, twist, spin, keep going for the goal line. Finally, Lilly, number 18, brings him down short of the touchdown.
Now it's 1st and goal to go as Bruce Vaughn of Florida has to leave the field. Number 47 is ankle or knee, some injury. He has to leave the ball game. The clock stopping at 3 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the game. 21-20 Florida. 1st down and goal to go. Georgia at the Florida 3.
Protect the football.
Walker to the 1.
Georgia coaches told me that Walker had really gotten proficient going over the top and scoring. You can look for that, I believe, the rest of this series possession.
He's had a 190-yard day so far on 42 carries.
It's a very sound, solid defensive line of Florida. Walker didn't get there. He will on the next one, I believe, if he leaps that high. Boy, he went up in there.
Glenn Myers, it looked like, was involved in there, but Lilly, the free safety, met him at the top of the stack in mid-flight.
We just saw Charlie Pell, and you know what he's going through. The finish last year is enough to put a man out of coaching. Look at the height. Look at Walker's spring in his legs. He goes over, but Florida linebackers stop him from breaking the imaginary plane above the goal line. Look how close it is. Third down.
Walker, touchdown.
He's running over behind Wayne Ratlaw, the left guard. Warren Gray, the left tackle. You can see Florida trying to go over the top to stop Walker's leap, but watch Walker. That's unbelievable. What an athlete. I don't think I've ever seen anybody, even Sam Cunningham, Keith, go that high.
Well, the thing that's impressive to me now is they have gone last year's ball game, and Georgia is going to go for 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Walker doesn't get the ball here. He's the lone remaining back. They've got 3 wide receivers to the right side. Now they send Stewart in motion. They give it to Herschel. He does not get there. He was brought down by Fernando Jackson, just short of the goal.
Look at the height that Herschel Walker can plant his foot off of his right foot. Look at him go up all the way over, gets his body turned down where when he falls, he's over the goal line.
He has also set a Southeastern Conference and a school record for the number of carries in a ball game with 44.
Stewart, number 33, is trying to block Curry out and let Walker run the sweep in for the touchdown, but there's Jackson, hits him first and knocks him down. Number 49, Fernando Jackson.
So you've still got 2 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the ball game. And Herschel is tired. Look at that, 95 yards.
I don't think I've seen a more impressive drive under all the tension and pressure
I have.
Been with the
I remember
game.
one about 5-6 years ago when Andy Johnson took Georgia on Thanksgiving night, 99 yards.
Against my alma mater.
That's right.
But I don't know whether they had that much at stake as Georgia has right now.
You're right, they didn't. Here's the kick by Butler. High hanger Curry drifting over at the 1. And tumble down at the 21-22 by Melvin Simmons.
There's Herschel Walker, tied the school record with 4 TDs. There's the wink, and I don't blame you, Herschel. You've earned it, old boy. You have earned it.
Though Buck Bellew has been brilliant today, could there be any other MVP than 34?
Boy, I tell you, Buck Bellew, as a coach who has to work with quarterbacks, my hat's off to that young man. Oh, he's put on a performance.
Great day today. From the 22, it's put up time for the Gators as Wayne Peace, who's had a pretty fair day himself. The ball is caught. The ball is knocked loose. It is fumbled. It is recovered by Georgia. Spencer Jackson made the reception. Steve Kelly knocked the ball loose, and it looks like it was Eddie Weaver that covered it. And so all of a sudden, the Gators have bad luck. Fight them.
Let's watch it again. Jackson's going to just turn in. Harris, number 27, is giving him a little shove, covering him, but he's going to be open inside. He catches the ball. Let's see if he holds it for 2 steps. Yes, he had. Oh, my goodness. Did you see I had the ball?
Yep.
Out in his hand.
Never saw Kelly coming, did he?
Never did, but he shouldn't have it out in his hand. You tuck it away.
What was Harris doing? Harris is going to stand there spectating him.
Oh, my goodness, what a mistake for Jackson.
Where's Charlie D?
And is Georgia happy?
Get that water, man!
Oh, my goodness alive. There's Steve Kelly, the safety man.
Walker with the ball. Every time he carries it now, it's a new conference. A school record, the ball comes loose. And he covers it. So Herschel Walker has the ball stripped out of his arms. Back on the 30.
That's Wayne Peace. Well, my hats are off to him, too. He's had a great ball game against a fine Georgia defense.
2 minutes to play.
Just a sophomore. Going to be a good one, Keith. Going to be a real good one.
Timeout called by Florida. Over town. Walker by land, Ballou by air, Butler Stowe. We're almost there. Florida, and it's just about what we all expected it to be. A dog and a gator fight. And it's been a fight. Walker's not trying to gain yardage now as much as he is protect the football, get the clock rolling, make Florida spend its time. Florida has no timeouts remaining, none remaining. The ball is sitting on the Florida 30. They had the ball. They had a pass completed. Jackson had the ball knocked loose from him. Georgia recovered it. And now Florida is in trouble trying to get the ball away from Georgia. It is 3rd down, however, and 13 for the Bulldogs at the Florida 30.
Keith, an interesting point. Will Georgia go for a field goal if they don't make a first down?
I would think so. Herschel Walker trying to get to the outside. He keeps shaking tacklers, and now he is down to the Florida 25, well short of the first down, obviously, but it brings up 4th down and may very well bring Kevin Butler into the ball game. 4th quarter in a tough game with Cal. Here's the field goal try now from 43 yards by the freshman Kevin Butler. He's 5 out of 5 at this distance. The kick is in the air. It is no good.
But they did go down and score in the 4th quarter on a big drive in less than 2 minutes.
Well, they had it moving a while ago until Jackson turned it loose on the hit by Kelly. They start from the 27. Peace. Going to get some heat. Outside he goes. The pass is away. The pass good to Spencer Jackson. Stumbles. Running for the sidelines. Can't get there. Up to the 40. It's a first down. The clock stops as they move the chains. That's one of the differences in college football versus professional football. As they move the chains, the clock stops. Florida without any timeouts remaining. They have none remaining. They've used their 3. Now the clock goes as soon as the chain is put down. And Peace steps back on first down from the 40. Throws it over the middle. The pass is caught. No, it is not caught.
It was trapped. Keith, the ball hit right in front of the receiver.
Chris Faulkner was sliding down and couldn't to the top of the picture. Number 2. He's the flyer.
And Lang is 6'6" if they throw it up for grabs. Young is 6'6".
Peace back to throw. Has some time. He throws. The pass is caught. It's a short pattern at midfield to Young. The clock is running. 30 seconds to play. 26-21. Georgia. Florida trying to get in position. They've got Lang and Young. The Gators moving around. Now they've got to set and go. 20 seconds to play in the ball game. Peace now. Georgia way back, dropping deep. Pass is caught. And Faulkner is dropped for what appears to be a first down. That should stop the clock at 13 seconds.
They've got to go deep, Keith. They've got no choice. They've got to go deep.
Georgia's got 4 people playing deep.
And a free safety behind the free safety.
To the sideline. Pass is incomplete. You have 6 seconds to play. 1 play if it goes long. Maybe 2 if they choose to go short.
Georgia will play a 3-deep secondary, and then they'll
do at this point.
He's going all the way over, number 10.
You'd think Georgia would surround him with red. Peace rolls out, throws short to Lang. Lang's got no chance. He's dropped. The ball game is over. The ball game is over, and the score is identical to last year. Georgia 26, Florida 21. But they took it to the very last second before it was finally resolved, and I am sure